Welcome to Sacred Awakenings, a community that supports spiritual exploration in order to awaken our greatest potential. Our Sunday gatherings are a time we set aside for ritual and ceremony as a community to enrich our own spiritual lives with the support of other open-hearted people. We are excited to have you as a part of this sacred circle with us. For the first few months, our speakers have been exploring the beliefs, values, and guiding principles of our organization. Today we have our spiritual director, Deborah Eagle Cloud Ayers, sharing her wisdom on one of our core guiding principles. The topic is embracing wonder in the moment, dropping our old stories and allowing magic in our lives to help us align with our highest purpose. We are also excited and happy to have John and Lori Lefevre Johnson inspiring us with their music today. Enjoy the gathering.
Good morning. In the silence, there is a sacred place, a sacred meeting place. Love is there. In the silence, where every color blends and every rainbow ends, good is there. In the light now you find that you know peace of mind. In the silence, your path is paved in gold, and all your dreams unfold. Love is there. Peace is there. Truth is there. God is there.
Let's connect with our breath and set our intention. Coming together, we create a collective divine heartbeat. We affirm truth and peace abide here. We gather to remember and recognize the divine mystery within. In our sacred circle, we honor the awakening of each spirit who enters.
Earth, teach me, a Native American prayer. Earth, teach me quiet, as the grasses are still with new light. Earth, teach me suffering, as old stones suffer with memory. Earth, teach me humility, as blossoms are humble with beginning. Earth, teach me caring, as mothers nurture their young. Earth, teach me courage, as the tree that stands alone. Earth, teach me limitation, as the ant that crawls on the ground. Earth, teach me freedom, as the eagle that soars in the sky. Earth, teach me acceptance, as the leaves that die each fall. Earth, teach me renewal, as the seed that rises in the spring. Earth, teach me to forget myself, as melted snow forgets its life. Earth, teach me to remember kindness, as dry fields weep with rain. Aho.
voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside. I am light. 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 I'm not the mistakes that I have made, or any of the things that cause me pain. I am not the pieces of the dream I left behind. I am light. 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 I am not the color of my eyes. I am not the skin on the outside. I am not my age. I'm not my race. My soul inside is all light. It's all light. All light. All light. I am 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 divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light.
Good morning. I open up every day with that song, with those lyrics. And Lori and John, you do that so beautifully. It is truly one of my most heartfelt favorite songs. I am light. A good reminder for us. We are light. And when we let all of our stories fall away, all those lyrics that show us where our stories are connected, when we let all of that fall away, we reveal the pure divine energy that we truly are. And remembering that, getting to that touchstone is important. And I'm very grateful to be able to do that every week with you on Sundays. So we've been examining the guiding principles for the Sacred Awakenings community, and we have walked through bringing an open heart with pure intention. Thank you, Reverend Nicole Losi, for that, as well as seek truth within. That's an important principle that guides us. And today we're going to explore embracing wonder in the moment and what that means, embracing wonder in the moment. And then next week, Dawn's going to work with the last one. It's going to work with, how we kind of drop all the personal connections to everything. And then these 4 guiding principles together help give us a framework for our everyday life to keep us awake, so to keep us alive, to keep us connected. And that's what we are all seeking. That's what we're all striving for. That's what we are all remembering, because we're already there. We're already there. Before I dive in too much, I do have the altar opened. I did that before we started. I smudged and opened my medicine circle in my bundle. And what I want to point out today on the altar is that it was called forth to really strip a lot away. We've been doing a lot of work through the week. We did some field tanks. I've had a lot of wonderful, beautiful conversations with many people in the community. And with each one, I brought intention to the altar for those conversations. And the altar got very busy this week. And this is the altar I maintain for our community. And for this talk, everything asked to be stripped away except for compassion for ourselves, the light, remembering that light, that we are light, the offering of incense, and of course, my picture of my teacher, Dr. Goodall, that channels in all the ancestors and gives me the blessing of being that hollow-boned channel. And we still have our deer, our reindeer on the altar because we're still in wintertime. We're still being guided through our darkness on some level. So that's our altar today. And I bring that to us and actually point that out today so that you recognize the stripping away, the falling away of that which isn't needed for our distractions. Sometimes we need those things, but for this particular topic, embracing wonder in the moment, what we're working on today is letting things go, releasing, surrendering, opening up, letting things fall away naturally and easy. It doesn't have to be painful. And so what I want to do in exploring this topic is open ourselves in what we're doing right now, examine ourselves, and then we're going to define the truth of this principle and awaken it within ourselves, reawaken it within ourselves, okay? So in order to just kind of open, we want to open our highest selves to this message. And the vibration of that song does such a beautiful job. Just bringing us to that place of remembering we are light. Awakening our consciousness, recognizing we have the key to opening ourselves, to remembering our spirit is with our human form, not separate from it, but we tend to forget it. So calling in our highest selves, calling in our spirit space, asking that to be present in this message today. Recognizing that we're seeking to awaken ourselves and to use this key to our consciousness to be awake so that we bring forth our spiritual truth. And so we set this in our intention right now. And so in looking at this, we want to examine our human behavior. We want to see it very clearly. When we look at the idea of who we are and how we want to be awakened and how we want to live a sacred life, we oftentimes are looking at, well, what's here that isn't true anymore? What's here that's no longer serving me? What's here that I need to pivot and change and move into something different? And it's not that there's actually a whole lot of change to happen other than the awakening, other than the conscientiousness of it. But in order to see clearly, we need to see what it is sometimes we do to trick ourselves. Okay? And so, when we're like in psychological development, ages like 5 to 7, the knowledge part of our brains, our intellect, our cognitive part of our brains starts getting extremely active in speaking back to us. Up until about 5, we're kind of just taking everything in and regurgitating back out. And then around that period of childhood, all of a sudden, we start getting this activity in our brain. And, our brain starts speaking back to us. And we've learned this, that teaches us like this human game of the way things are. And it teaches us the dichotomy of life. It separates us from everything that is. It's kind of a trick our brain plays when we're young. We start to see everything around us, and the talking inside of us tells us that's different than me. And there's nothing wrong with that. But what begins to happen is that in order to survive, we have this this cognitive self-defense mechanism that kicks in, defense mechanism. We look to defend ourselves and what we think. And that defending, is actually the first act of war. It's the first act of separating, okay? So we defend in our minds, and we personalize, and we seek a way in our thinking that we're right. And we make this assumption that if we're right, then what's on the other side of that must be wrong. And there's this relative, we start to put ourselves relative to everything else. And that happens, because we are uncomfortable. We're not trained to be comfortable with that mystery, with the unknowing. And so those childhood thoughts of wondering and daydreaming and exploring and discovering is this beautiful piece that we start to lose. So we have that in early childhood as the world is opening up to us and we're learning. And then as we get to that kind of middle childhood, we start going to school and we start getting influences from people other than our parents, and we're told what's right and we're told what's wrong. We create these constructs in our brain, true or not, that direct how we process the world, what we think of all of this, okay? And that eventually leads to this place where our self-defense mechanisms go into a place of assumption, and we make assumptions a lot. And it's not inferences. Inferences wouldn't have judgment attached to it. Assumptions create judgment. So that assumption is a judgment that you make about someone or something without really knowing if it's true or not. And you believe it as true, regardless if it is or not. You believe it to be true, regardless of if it is or not. And you have a judgment of it. And this is assumption. And it kind of, it really degrades our ability to spiritually grow. And so at some point, when we get to this point, if we're blessed enough to be called to this point of awakening and seeing and being able to look inside, we see how that process doesn't serve our highest good. That what we really need to do is reason, understand, and justifying might make us feel safe, but it's very flawed in finding the truth of things. And so, we create this false reality. And what we really need to do is go into this place of, seeing what's really there without attaching judgment to it, without attaching personalization to it. Because this, where we do this, where we make assumptions and create personalization to it, this is where we create suffering. This is where suffering is born and festers. And suffering is different than pain. We tell ourselves the false truth that we can't handle pain, and we can. But we attach so much fear to it that we go into this place where we manipulate what the truth is in order to feel more secure. Because we're no longer comfortable with just allowing something to be mysterious and being curious about it. Instead, we come at it with a certain lens, with a certain perception, with a certain judgment. And this gets us into trouble. It doesn't just harm us. We create harm for others this way. And so unpacking this is important. Okay? Unpacking this is important. It's an emotional poison for us to get stuck in assumptions, to get stuck in the way we see the world, and to forget who we really are. And so we want to rewind ourselves back to that place before our mind needed to start creating compartments and putting everything where it fits and making false assumptions. Go back before that. Open up something earlier. Open up that sense of wonder, that sense of curiosity, that exploration without assumption and judgment. We need to let go of that control over the truth, thinking that if we control it and manipulate it, that it no longer is a threat, that it no longer will hurt us or cause suffering. And that's a false belief. It's also a false belief to think that you can't handle what the truth is, that you can't handle pain. What we can't handle is suffering, and we create it ourselves. So this is all packed into what our daily lives are that make it hard for us to stay connected to our divinity, to our connection to spirit, to all that is, to feel that we are all one. And this is the remembering that we want. So the other way to kind of see this, or an extension of this, is to recognize that it takes courage to ask the right questions, to want to see the truth, and to then accept it without wanting to manipulate. I have all sorts of furry friends around me right now. Well, hi. Hello. Minnie's making her debut, apparently. So, stories. We tell these stories, we get attached to our stories, and stories are very powerful. Recognizing a particular story on your journey is very powerful. Every story brings the gift. This is living. And when that story comes to a conclusion and you're able to integrate the gift and strip away that which isn't true and see the truth of the matter, then you drop the story. But we hold on to our stories to hold on to control so much. We have a false narrative going on. And while, yes, there's some truth to writing your own story, being attached to it, squeezing it out, and allowing it to be your truth when it no longer is, can be harmful. So who are you without your story? Who are you without being a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, a son, a daughter, whatever your vocation is? Who am I without being a mother, a healer, a wife, a daughter, a friend, a sister? Who am I? That brings us back to the truth of the matter. When we drop our stories, when we allow things to become simplified, it brings us back to our truth. It brings us back to recognizing I am light. I am not the things my family did. I am not the voices in my head. I am not the pieces of the brokenness inside of me. I'm not the mistakes. I'm not anything that causes myself pain. I'm not the pieces of my dreams. I'm not the color of my eyes or my skin. I'm not my age, my race. I am light. And when we let go of all of those things that define us, it's scary. It's scary. It does take courage. It's scary to think, oh, who am I without all of that? But when we really get settled into that space, it opens us up. It actually removes all the restrictions that we didn't even realize we were putting on ourselves. When we drop our stories, when we drop our assumptions, this is the gift. This is the gift. Everyone is doing the best they can with what they've got. Everyone is on a spiritual journey, whether they're awake to it or not. We have no idea why things happen the way they do. And that's okay. That's a space, a mystery that we can allow if we remember who we are. If we don't grasp at needing to control things, if we look at the truth for what it really is. And then our relationships grow and our suffering falls away. And we step into our light and we create more good in the world. and we model for other people what that looks like. And we are allowed to be present, fully present, without being attached to what was or what's to come, fully present here. Dropping the stories, dropping the history, recognizing I am not today the same person I was 10 years ago. So why am I holding on to that story and defining myself by it? It doesn't serve my highest good anymore. Wayne Dyer said, what's true in the morning of your life is not true in the evening of your life. It's different. And so we need to let it go. And so how we move forward and how we create this guiding principle does not feel important to just say, don't do this and don't do this. Don't make assumptions. Don't hold on to stories. Don't try to control everything. It's not about the don't. The important message is to embrace what is. And so the message is embrace wonder in the moment. This is the new truth expressed in positive words. The positive words lift us, raise the vibration, raise the frequency. So when this is what we remember in the everyday, it raises us, lifts us up into the place where this is possible, where we remember who we are and we are able to live at that vibration and embrace the wonder. So let's unpack that for a minute, okay? Embrace. What does embrace mean? Invite wholeheartedly with total acceptance. Invite wholeheartedly. That means be open, totally accepting. It activates your faith and diminishes the fear. You know, two sides of the same coin, faith and fear. It activates that faith to say, I will embrace, not just invite, not just welcome, embrace. I will take it in wholeheartedly. Wonder. Wonder, we love this word in this community, right? Wonder. Oh, it activates all sorts of wonderful thoughts. Wonder, wondrous, wonderful, wonder. It's the beginner's mind. It opens us up to being younger than 5, to discovering, to exploring without judgment, without needing to compartmentalize, without needing our minds to wrap around it in a way that we create our own truth about it. Wonder allows the openness. It's more than willingness. It's not jaded. It's curiosity with joy attached, joyful to be curious. To open ourselves up, to explore with that open mind and pure heart that we've talked about. Wonder, explore wonder. You choose a state of wonder and curiosity. You choose it. And you choose it with your whole being. You choose it with your body, through your senses. You choose it with your mind, to not get caught up in the way that we get snagged around by assumptions and judgments and stories. We choose it with our minds. We choose it with our bodies. We choose it with our hearts. To be wondrous and curious with your heart means that you're not closed off. You're not jaded. You're not needing to defend yourself from what past experiences you've had. Not needing the armor. This is our spiritual practice. Not saying that there aren't times in the world that you do need your armor, but you can decipher that. You can choose that. That's not an automatic defense mechanism. So we choose through the wonder to open ourselves up with our mind and our hearts and our bodies and our spirit. And when we choose this with our spirit, that's staying awake. That's about dedicating ourselves and committing ourselves to living a life awakened, conscientious of all of this, exploring that wonder. Voltaire said, "Judge a man by his questions rather than his answers." I love that. The curiosity. What kind of questions come up? Questions are more important than answers because it allows the exploration and the wonder to be there without compartmentalizing all the answers. You see? So allow other people to find their own answers. To all the fixers and healers, to all the codependent personalities out there, I'm one of them. And one of the hardest things to do is to say, there's no needing to fix this or figure it out. Just connect to it and witness it. Just witness it. Hold sacred space for somebody to figure it out for themselves, for somebody to heal, for somebody to grow. Hold space for that. But when you do it with a wondrous mind, you don't have to fix it for them. You allow that. You recognize the value in it. So I love that. Judge a man by his questions rather than his answers. Let those questions be there. Allow space for other people to ask questions too. And then the words in the moment. Embrace wonder in the moment, now, the present. It releases and surrenders to the seen and unseen obstacles that cause our suffering. It just releases them. And we have seen and unseen things. We have inherited karma. We have stuff that was passed to us. We have our unconscious biases. It's in the cellular level of our bodies. Okay? We have all the learned programming that our brains were wrestling with as we were growing. We have all of our old experiences, past traumas and wounds, and all of this has created those ego pieces of defensiveness and despair and anger, and that causes scar tissue and old baggage and old stories. They serve a purpose, but it's the perspective in which you meet them and you connect with them that's important. So embrace wonder in the moment. Embrace wonder in the moment. So, in order to awaken this truth in us, where you don't have to do anything, there is nothing for you to do, wrestle with, just be, receive your own remembering about all of this. You were already there. You're there in and out all the time. Your beginner's mind, just invite it to show up. It's already there. So, let's go into some meditation with this. Just get comfortable. Close your eyes. Connect with your breath. Just let go of any worries, concerns, shiny objects in your mind right now. Just breathe in and know your truth. I am divinity defined. Breathe that in. Say it aloud if you'd like. See what that feels like. See where you take that into your body and how deep you allow it to sink. Does it get caught in your throat or in your heart, your chest? How do you physically respond to that? Do you tighten up? Do you open up? Can you drop it down all the way into your belly? Can you let it permeate through every cell of your being? It isn't about making it happen. It's just about allowing it to be. It's already there. I am divinity defined. I am God on the inside. I am a star. We are all one. I'm a piece of it all. I'm a part of the whole. I am the drop in the ocean. I am light. I am light. Release that which no longer serves this truth as you exhale and let go, allowing anything that no longer serves this truth to fall away. I am light. Now, I invite you to just step into the guiding principle we're working with today. Embrace wonder in the moment. Embrace wonder in the moment. Embrace wonder with your body, with every cell of your body. Embrace wonder in this moment. Feel that in your body. Now, embrace wonder in your mind, allowing beginner's mind, allowing the child wonder, allowing curiosity, inviting it, just being there. Embrace wonder with your heart, open heart, pure intention, letting any restrictions go. Embrace wonder with your spirit, remembering your own divinity, connecting to spirit, feeling that connection, that you vibrate in all things around you, that you are connected through that golden thread above your head, all the way down through your feet and connected to Mother Earth. Feel that, embrace that. And now just connect all of that, mind, body, spirit, heart. Embrace wonder in this moment.
Open my eyes that I may see glimpses of truth thou hast for me. Place in my hands the wonderful key that shall unclasp and set me free. Silently now I wait for thee. Ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my eyes, illumine me. Spirit divine, open my ears that I may hear voices of truth thou sendeth clear. And while the wave notes fall on my ear, everything false will disappear. Silently now I wait for thee. Ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my ears and illumine me. Spirit divine, and open my mouth and let me bear gladly children thus to share. Silently now I wait for thee. Ready, my God, thy will to see. Open my heart and illumine me. Spirit divine, Spirit divine, Spirit divine.
Beautiful. So let's bring forth our intentions. The intentions of the community that have been offered, those we hold in our hearts right now, or those we say aloud. And in a time that there is so much suffering everywhere, may the beauty and blessings of Spirit still be seen, and may each of us recognize the divine peace we have to offer in the world, starting with ourselves. So let's recite the prayer for living a sacred life together. Spirit, I know that I have choice to create sacredness in my everyday moments as a divine expression of love in the world, both to myself and others. I know that I have this choice no matter the circumstances of what is around me. Help me source myself from inside through the divine connection to all that is, so that my expression in the world reflects compassion, gratitude, forgiveness, and love without judgment. Bless me with your divine grace that I may co-create sacred moments for and with others. Bless me with the fortitude to practice in my life in a way that expands my consciousness and raises my awareness, so that my spiritual journey leads me to oneness with you and all of creation. May I humbly be an expression of divine energy that inspires more love in the world as I open and allow flow in my life instead of control. May I talk sacred, walk sacred, and live sacred. Aho. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Deborah, John, and Lori. Please stay for our discussion and join us next week. Also, check our new website, sacredawakenings.org. May every day bring you sacred awakenings.
Come sing a song of joy, for peace shall come, my brother. Sing, sing a song of joy, for men shall love each other. That day will dawn.
I wholeheartedly extend to you again the invite, in whatever capacity you feel comfortable, to stay after our closing song to further explore this week's topic during our community discussion after. Please feel free to take a moment now, though, to refresh. Perhaps stretch your legs, refill your drink, maybe utilize the facilities, and we will start our discussion in just a moment. Additionally, make sure to check out our website at sacredawakenings.org. There is a donate option on the page also, where one can make an offering to support this organization so that we can keep coming back to you every week. Our goal is to grow and expand to further support and encourage each other and to broaden our reach to more individuals to support and better the world and our community in these quickly changing times. Your energetic exchange or offering makes this possible. We truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you again for joining us today. May your week be blessed and bright.